One thing we could do before we start the new session is, since you guys have achieved level 10, we could, congrats by the way, we could,
Woohoo!
maybe it would be a good time to go over the path you guys have gone down in terms of your leveling up decisions, because other than like vague stuff here and there, we haven't really talked about like what subclasses you guys are and stuff like that. And I know Nick just got a whole load of spells.
Well, I got a lot of spells.
For
why,
no
why, why
reason
did
in
that
particular.
happen? What?
Yeah, we'll go into that.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
We've been playing this for basically a year, and we're at level 10, so it's going to be another year until we're done.
I'm a level 6 paladin and a level 4 warlock.
Nice, nice. Multi-classer.
Yeah, it's my first time. I'm very frightened.
I mean,
I never thought of that.
nothing really exciting happened in the last level up for me.
It's okay. We don't have to do this if you guys don't want to. I was just trying to get the energy flowing.
My next big level up is the next level 2, where I can summon up to 8 demons.
What the fuck?
Oh.
I get better dice rolls. You summon demons. Oh, these classes are fairly balanced in all aspects.
Wait, I could have added another class.
You
Yeah.
can multi-class if you want to.
Oh, okay.
I just found that out
being
this
clear.
session. I mean, this campaign, not this session.
The biggest thing that Devon's changed with is he died. And I think the mass therapy session that he went through with, of course, Maddie, who we hope is doing well, and Tina, I think that was a very interesting point and allowed Devon to kind of flesh out his thinking a bit, especially after the kind of mental epiphany he went through right before he died. I definitely think that he's been acting a bit more chaotically because of the scar, especially the voice in my head that encourages me and pats me on the back whenever I do heinous acts. So yeah, that's been the biggest change with that, and it's good to have the spells that I definitely knew I could add.
Hell yeah. Alright, well, if no one else has anything to say, then we can start session 42.
42, yes sir.
Yeah.
Alright, well. Previously on Tales of the Omega Astria, chaos unfolded in Olympia as the party found themselves entangled in a plot of city destruction and shadowy mayhem. The city guards were hot on the party's tail for unknown reasons, and the odds were stacked against our heroes. However, a stroke of luck came in the form of the Salty Dog, a transport airship captained by the now notorious Captain Tarks. After their daring escape, it was on board the Salty Dog that the party discovered an unexpected new friend, a Kenku named Jealous, bound by a rope that dragged her along the underside of the ship. Her desire for freedom was great. Jealous had become a stowaway against her will, and because of this, and his cockets, if you will, she was allowed to stay on Captain Tark's mighty vessel. But friendship was not all the party found on board, as a harrowing clash between the valiant crew and the relentless windwalkers began. These were battle Aarakocra, most likely sent from the Vegarakian government to knock the Salty Dog out of the sky. As the crimson assailants closed in, their feathers ruffled in the wind, Captain Tarks rallied his company with a hearty speech as battle commenced. Blades clashed, gunshots echoed through the air, and harpoons launched into the distant clouds, all creating a symphony of steel and thunder. Captain Tarks himself fought like hell, his cutlass flashing in the light as he parried and countered many a foe. Meanwhile, the leaders of the Bronze Phoenix crew found themselves engaged in a deadly dance of their own. Devon's spiritual weapon illuminated the ship, mixing with the crackle of his arcane spells. Cock and Brock found themselves at the forefront, their weapons poised for combat. Cock wielded Lady Wora's holy flail with precision, striking at winged foes, with each swing sent feathers flying. Brock was fueled by his battle rage and used the power of his mighty berserker axe to unleash a whirlwind of fury upon his feathery adversaries. At the same time, Invictus was strained against the weight of falling figures, his muscles taut with effort as he held onto a rope with unwavering determination, bearing the bulk of Jealous and Nar. Time seemed to slow as he fought the forces of gravity, his grip unyielding. With each passing moment he managed to halt their fall. He could not give the same assistance to the ship itself, for tragedy struck as the Windwalker's spears found their mark. The aged Golden Teeth Wind Mage of the Salty Dog fell to the ground in a pile of flesh and guts, leaving the airship without wind in its sails, and so it began to plummet. And as the Salty Dog descended towards the ground, a sense of urgency gripped the air. The crew and the passengers alike prepared for a perilous landing, hurrying to don backpack gliders, knowing that the outcome hung in the balance. It was during this critical moment that a decision was made that will forever be remembered in the annals of Omega Astrian history. Realizing that the trajectory of the falling death trap was headed perilously close to a settlement of native tribesfolk, Captain Tarks took action, determined to steer the Salty Dog away from the innocents, even if it meant his own demise. The wind howled around the ship as it fought against the uncontrollable forces of gravity. Obu Abi, with her glider at the ready, looked back at Captain Tarks with admiration, but also a deep concern. She knew the danger he faced and understood the sacrifice he was making to save lives. With a resolute nod, she launched herself off the ship, soaring through the air towards the ground. But as Obu Abi departed, Perry, a steadfast companion to the end, refused to abandon Captain Tarks in his final moments. An unwavering loyalty burned within him, and he stood by his captain's side, their bond unbreakable. And as the ship groaned and creaked, its trajectory was adjusted ever so slightly by Captain Tarks and Perry, using their combined strengths to turn the ship's wheel despite resistance from the wind. And then, with one final spin, they succeeded. The Salty Dog veered away from the settlement, its course redirected towards a looming sand hill nearby. The ship collided with the unforgiving terrain, erupting into a fiery inferno that illuminated the dunes. Flames consumed the Salty Dog, swallowing it whole as the courageous captain and his loyal companion went down with their ship. And silence settles over the lowlands for a moment as the smoke bellows up and out of the charred remnants of the Salty Dog in the distance. You're all stood in a solemn moment, the 9 of you. You see Hemph, the blonde-furred tabaxi with the wild spirit and colorful dreads. Dishi, the dark-furred and experienced first mate of the burning airship. Nar, the stoic and dependable bodyguard of Lady Wora, and she is the wise mentor of Kak, who is currently not conscious. And last but not least, Jealous, the mysterious Kenku with some sort of knowledge of these lowlands, hopefully. You all stand side by side in the thick vast of the untamed desert wilderness, and you see one more gliding survivor, Obu Abi, the swift and agile cheetah folk. She descends, landing harshly in the sand, almost rolling to a stop as dust kicks up in the air. And then it begins to dawn on you. Tarks and Perry are nowhere to be found, and above in the sky. As Obu Abi looks around, she's breathless and quickly stares up above her, wide-eyed at the crash. Where is he? Did Perry not take flight with me?
It appears he did not, but if we are quick and get to the wreckage, perhaps Devon can revive them.
Yes. I just hope that they are still in a stable enough condition to where reviving would be a courteous manner, as there are some fates worse than death.
Yeah. I mean, you're all saying this watching a explosion in the distance, and she looks back at the both of you, like, tears in her big cat eyes, and she's like, wait, we should have done something. You could have saved them. Why didn't you?
I tried.
We tried our best. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry. I know this must be hitting you truly on a, as deep a level as possible. But we did everything we could. It was an ambush. I mean, we were put onto our back toes.
Dishi places a hand on her shoulder. He's like, Aye, me lass. You need to understand, I've no doubt they made their sacrifice for the greater good. Their actions have saved innocent lives. We must honor their memory and carry on their legacy. She's like wiping away tears. It still hurts, Dishi. Deep in my chest, they were our family. And the Hemph starts nodding aggressively. Aye, they were, lass, and their bravery will forever be etched in our hearts. We'll make sure their sacrifice wasn't in vain. Let their spirits guide us through these treacherous lands. And then you can see she's finding her strength from their words amidst the grief and then slowly begins to lift her heads towards the party. You! She gets up, fists forming in either hand. She begins hurriedly approaching Devon and Brock. I can't believe you brought the fucking Windwalkers to our ship. Look at what you've done. Tarks, Perry, Golden Teeth, they paid the ultimate price because you fucking monsters and your recklessness.
Where? I'm sorry that
I'll fucking do it again.
I'm sorry that the government of this planet is so corrupt that they sent police after us after assuming incorrect decisions, and I'm sorry that we couldn't fight better. And
I
sorry
understand
to put
your
you in this
frustration, but shit happens, It's a pretty fucked up world we live in.
Alright, well, as Brock says wah wah, Hemp also starts walking over and he puts his hand on his sheath, and you just hear anger like, Aye, you be thinking you just waltz in with trouble on your heels and leave us to clean up the mess, aye? Tarks and Perry trusted you, you fucking Megru folk, bought you drinks, helped keep you safe, and look where it's gotten them. And us? Stranded in these cursed lowlands with naught but a scorching sun and danger all around. Devon, give me a wisdom saving.
Are we
throw.
going... Ooh, wisdom saving. Okay. Time to bust out the dice for the first time tonight.
for the first time in 6 weeks.
I got a 12.
Okay. You hear a voice in your head. Are you going to let these lesser creatures speak to you that way? And you just feel this urge to do something to not let these people get the upper hand on you. And Dishi now steps forward in between the two and his crew, the two of Brock Devon and his crewmates. Now hold on, mateys. I understand your anger, but let's not forget. If we are going to survive, we're going to need everyone, all in this together. Them folk may have made mistakes, but we're all paying the price now. And Obuabi's still crying.
We have to make the most of the situation that we are currently in, rather than the situation that led to it. There's nothing we can do about the past now, but we have the opportunity now to combine our forces together and lead out of these treacherous conditions we currently find ourselves in.
You don't get to say that. Our family is gone because of what you did. We have no ship. We have no way out of this fucking hellscape.
Well, not with that attitude.
Invictus, their yelling is bad. Where you guys are, they are drawing attention.
Could I don't... My persuasion is pretty good. Listen, we fucked up, okay? But, and not to speak ill of the dead, your captain saw the guard chasing us and decided to let us on board and leave the port. It's our fault they chased us, but you all easily could have just as refused service to us and let us die on the docks in Olympia. None of it matters now. We are in the lowlands. You guys are yelling and attracting attention of things that we do not want. We need to get out of here quietly and quickly to a more secure location where we can't be ambushed. Can I roll with persuasion?
Yes, but you have disadvantage because of Brock's wah wah wah.
There. Are any of them dwarves? Just gotta ask. Because of my very specific advantage on dwarves.
By the way, disadvantage in a good way because I love that. I love that roleplay. Brock's a super nice guy most of the time. I promise.
Well, here's the bad thing. I got a 4 and a natural 20.
Ah.
But that 4 is still a 14.
14, okay. You hear Dishi like, I hear you, mate. I hear you, mates. I know. But please, keep your voices down. The anger burns within us, but we can't let it consume us. We must find a way to survive, even in this dire situation. Oh, Bobby's just shaking her head now. Like, I don't know how I can forgive them just like that, Dish.
Don't need to.
You don't have to forgive us.
You don't have to forget about this. But until we're out of the lowlands, you must bury it within you, and we can hash it out once we leave.
And Dishi's like, and we'll make them understand the consequences of their actions. But for now, let's focus on surviving. Even without the ship beneath our feet, we are still the crew of the Salty Dog. You guys can all give me insight rolls if you'd like to.
Sure. 13?
17.
Could I also do a perception check to see if anything was attracted attention-wise while the yelling was going on?
Sure. I assume Cock and Brack don't want to do insight rolls.
No, I got a nat 1.
Okay,
Too focused on making sure they quiet down.
Alright, well...
Kaku's busy with the corpse.
What corpse?
Lady Wora's unconscious buddy.
Yeah, you shouldn't say corpse, alright? It's a bit insensitive. They're literally, their friends are dead somewhere in here. Alright, anyway,
dancing on him.
Alright, Devon, you, Obuabu begins to nod and, you think more out of exhaustion and grief than, like, actually believing the words you guys are saying. But Hemph is still fired up. He's ready to do something right now, but clearly won't unless Dishu's technically the acting captain says to. So, for the time being, they are listening to you guys.
All right. I'm gonna let Invictus, or what the fuck am I? Yeah, Invictus. I'm gonna let you do the talking, and I'm gonna go over to Lady Wora, and she was ailing with a curse, correct?
Something you're not sure. It was something induced in a coma in her.
I'm gonna go up to her and try out one of my new spells, Remove Curse. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object ends. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Let's see.
See if it helps her out.
He explodes on the spot.
You said or an object?
Mm-hmm.
Can you cast it on my armor?
If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
So you can eventually use that to get me out of my armor that is feeding from my life.
Yeah.
Once you're ready to get your drip
Once Tratus is dead.
Or I get better armor.
Yeah, that's a very useful spell. Holy shit. Alright, so you want to use this on Lady Wora.
Yes, sir.
Alright, well then I'll say
See what happens.
you can cast the spell. So, you cast the spell. First of all, what does it look like? And then 2, you can roll me a medicine roll.
Basically I just go up and, I kind of like, you know how like when you're frustrated with someone, you like pinch right in between your eyes, right at the top of your nose? I first do that, and then I place my fingers and my hand on Lady Wora's forehead. And then you said medicine check?
Yes. The spell will work.
I got
see how useful it is.
26.
26. Alright, so... Wow, we're just getting right to the shits. And, by the way, this will help. Devon and Invictus have an incredibly high passive perception, so you feel pretty good about being able to sense incoming attacks, but, if it was like stealthy bandits, you'd be in trouble. Alright, so amidst the sort of the expanse of the desert, you all find yourselves isolated in the lowlands. The winds whip across the dunes, carrying with them whispers of ancient secrets and unseen dangers. Leaders rising up in new settlements. Lady Wora, the former highest priestess, appears basically completely knocked out. She's not moving. She's breathing, but like her eyes aren't moving. Obviously, I assume they're closed. And you take a moment, Devon. You begin to perform this ritual, tapping into the arcane energies of your snot-based magic.
At least with the curse, no snot, but a lot of it
typically snot-based.
is just very bodily fluid involved.
Yes, and as you touch Lady Wora's forehead, a surge of magical energy ripples through the air. You all feel it. And then Lady Wora's eyes snap open. Her once serene features are now twisted with fear, as if she's emerged from a harrowing nightmare. And Nar has placed her down, so you could do this. But he's, looking around like, that seems bad. And then without hesitation, Lady Wora springs to her feet, instincts taking over. Her gaze locks onto Invictus, and her voice is filled with energy. Give me your bag! Hello?
Do it!
She's talking to me, not like someone. I turn around, looking behind me.
And she just runs up to you. The clock! You bloody fool! Give me your bag!
I don't have. Okay.
She grabs it. Okay, you hand it to her. She was about to grapple you. Alright, you hand her your bag, and as soon as she has it, you see this strange sensation. It's something. There's a mysterious pull from within your bag, something within it is beginning to come to life. And she just throws the bag onto the floor and then begins to slowly open it and with an eerie speed, a large black hand clock rises from the depths of your bag, hovering in the air above Lady Wora, outstretched hands. And it begins to emit a haunting, otherworldly chime. And
It's so otherworldly, Discord cut out.
yeah, it's gonna draw attention.
Shut it.
Yeah, she's just like,
time is upon us.
he knows. Somebody destroy it. Calculus, please.
13 hit?
Yes.
Is another enemy of it within 5 feet?
No.
33 damage.
All right, so you just pull out your rifle, one shot it, it falls onto the desert ground,
The fuck was that?
and her body just starts trembling, and you can all now see that her nose is bleeding, but she doesn't seem to notice herself, and her breath is coming in ragged bursts, and her eyes are darting around searching for something unseen. The stranger is gone. They killed all of him. I saw it, the land of Daedra, specifically the Isles of Old Lumpar, Tratus, Leon's reach. It's too great. And then she turns to you. You can see she's like spiraling in her mind. Where did you get that cursed thing?
The clock? Never seen it before in my life.
Ah. You want to make a history roll?
I literally did not have a clock in my backpack, so I really do not know what you're talking about.
Well, that's because you didn't add it to your inventory. I've been keeping track of your inventory and waiting for a moment like this.
17.
Okay, so remember when you were back on Percival von Donner's yacht and there was that black wall of water? There was a specter in the wall, and he handed you a clock, and you just took it, put it in your bag, and never thought about it ever again. That's where the clock comes from.
Percival, the recluse thief on a yacht. He calls himself a purveyor of lost goods.
A purveyor of lost goods handed you a strange clock, and you just kept it.
Lady, in my line of work, you just keep things people hand you, because you never know when it's going to save your life.
I thought you were a spy. Listeners always listen, my dear boy, and always, always listen when you give them a damn chance. He knows everything. She turns back over to her turtle princess. Calculus, Tratus knows I'm alive. He knows we're on this planet. Tratus knows everything. He's heard everything since that cat received that item. You said you could trust these people.
God damn it.
She's just disappointed in everybody. And then her breath is so shaky and her entire body is like struggling to hide the terror that she feels. She looks around the group of you quickly, one by one, like she's trying to find something. She's just like, we've lost. And then before you know it, she falls back down onto the sand. And now she's shaking aggressively. Nar runs over to her.
I'm gonna lay my balls on her again.
All right. Yeah, Devon and Cock both give me medicine checks as well.
23.
23.
16.
Okay. You have to get close, but you begin to see like a foam coming from her mouth, and you both recognize the symptoms. It's the exact same thing that was happening to Cock back in the wizard orgy.
Oh, on Knox Hollow. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you think the anomaly is trying to kill her.
Then we'll kill the anomaly.
Ah, I'll kill the anomaly myself.
She needs something.
I wonder if I casted remove curse again, do you think that would have a positive effect?
With your medicine check, you think that you casting that spell gave her a few moments, but whatever's affecting her is still there. She needs something else. Well, think back. What have you done to help people in these situations before that has worked? All of you, not just Devon. It's not all on Devon in this
Devon,
situation.
do something.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
Put them out of their misery?
Shoot them!
No, not that.
I don't think Invictus or Erebus or Osiris or Set, whichever name I'm going by today, really does any of the medicine stuff. He usually just...
Yeah, probably not going to be the spy or the bugbear in the situation.
If someone was messing around like this on a mission, bullet to the back of the head so they don't mess it up.
You see the other Tabaxis just looking like, oh, fucking come on. This is ridiculous.
Could I, while they're trying to figure this out, can I do a perception check to try to figure out where exactly we crash and where we need to go to get to a safe area?
Sure. How do you want to do that?
I grabbed a map from Devon that we got of like the local area, and I'm just gonna start looking for maybe a landmark that I can see that might be on the map.
Sure. All right. That'll give them some time to think. Think back to the time you've spent with Lady Wora, Cock, and.
So whatever roll you can have me roll, I got on that 20.
Well, I'm gonna. Well, actually, let me check something quick. I don't want to make sure I don't have any notes on this map.
I don't know, Cock. You got any ideas? If you have a role you need help with, I can give you guidance on it.
Cast Divine Smite on her, Andrew, and smite the evil away.
I'm getting.
Be gone.
Fuck my life.
I mean, I could cast Lesser Restoration, but that just seems like a shittier version of Remove Curse, you know?
And remember, you tried spells last time this happened, and it didn't work.
Right.
We could feed her my... Oh, no, I got rid of that. Never mind.
Alright, well, in the meantime, with your natural 20, you know two things. You're definitely somewhere near Esther Mount. You're in between two hill areas, and there's a Tabaxi settlement nearby. So you're in that area. It's been a long time since you've been to the Tabaxi settlements for work, so... Alright, well, back over to the squad. Any ideas, fellas?
Someone to do a religion check on her.
Who's got the highest religion?
Probably Andrew, I hope.
I have a +0 on religion, so pop off, Andrew.
All right.
Cast Guidance? What is that advantage or something?
Yeah, you get you can roll a d4 as well to that.
Ooh,
Careful, we might get into a fight, so don't burn through all your spell slots.
I'll kill them all. All right, I got a 28. All religion is now mine.
Alright. Yeah, she's being killed by a vision. And yeah, I'll leave it to you guys to try to figure out what that means and how.
Is she an elf?
Yep.
Aren't they immune to dream-based magic?
This is not magic. But yes, they are technically immune to dream-based magic. They can't be put to sleep.
So if we wake her up, could she not fall back asleep into the vision?
Maybe.
No sleeping.
You want to try that?
Well, I mean, we just did, so it wouldn't work probably, but... Someone have
Yeah.
smelling salts?
I'm gonna whip out the orb and try to go in.
Ah, okay. You want to go into her vision, you mean? Not like go in like you start insulting her or something. I'm about to go absolutely in,
You
fam.
stupid.
Always
You
falling over, you old bitch.
Your hair.
Your hair.
Raggedy.
Calculus. Before you do that, could you summon your war turtle, and then you, Nar, and you, Lady War, get on the war turtle, and it follows us while we get out of the middle of just standing in the middle of the fucking desert.
That is a really good idea. Holy shit.
I summoned the Wordus and
All of the other Tabaxis like, oh fuck, what the fuck is happening? But in a piratey way.
Sorry,
I'm the good
we're
bestie
dealing
ever.
with some magical visionary complications, so Cock is gonna be dealing with that, so to keep us all mobile and getting in the middle out of the fucking desert, he's gonna be sitting on that turtle. And then I guess I start leading us. So
Roll me a persuasion roll, by the way. Invictus.
24.
Okay. They're just like, you best be explaining yourself later. What the bloody hell? Who is the stranger? The Black Wall? Something about the Pirate Lord. You're not telling us everything. This is why our captain died. You have to be honest with us, you crazy magic folk.
I'll explain on the travel. I just figured we should start moving. So when I realized we were near Estamount, did I realize, like, so on this map, Dylan,
I'm just gonna look. This whole thing is Estermount. It's just so you know, it's not just this part.
Is it arranged where, like, this is north, and then is it like cardinally arranged, or is
Yeah.
for some reason like this north? Okay.
For some reason, I can't figure out why. The map's upside down. Oh shit.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
So during my natural perception, was I able to, using the sun, does the sun work like it works on our planet, where it like rises in the east sets in the west.
Yeah, sure.
So would I be
totally
able?
thought of this.
So would I have been able to tell which direction east or west was based on the sun?
Yeah, with a natural 20 for sure.
Okay. So,
You want to head towards the crash, right?
yes, let's head that way first.
Okay, so that's a northeastern direction. You also saw like the outskirts of a settlement. That would be more of like a southeastern direction.
Southeastern. Probably guessing would either be Pizza or Abaddon, if Abaddon's a settlement.
Yeah, it is. You would know that Abaddon's like the main Tabaxi settlement, but that's where the White Furs, as they call themselves, roam.
Gotcha.
It's a beautiful place.
Or it could be this, I guess, if we're over here. Let's head to the crash first, and then once we search it, see what we can find, either supplies-wise, or maybe someone we can revive. I doubt it, because it's probably been more than 10 minutes now, which I think is the limit of Nick's ability.
Let's see.
Also, even if you had left immediately, it would have taken you longer than 10 minutes to get there. It's
Even
going to
at
be
full
like
speed?
it's going to be well, with you it'll probably be like an hour. It's going to take like 4 or 5 hours for the entire party to make it to where the crash is.
All right.
I have a spell called Raise Dead. You return a dead creature you touch to life, provided that it has been dead no longer than 10 days.
Oh.
Is it like alive, or is it like living dead?
Coming back from the dead is an ordeal. The target takes a -4 dice penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Every time the target finishes a long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears.
So we could revive them if they're not in too bad condition.
Yeah.
All right, let's start heading to the crash site, boys.
Okay.
How do I...
Let's go!
Some other things. It is incredibly hot in the lowlands compared to when you were on the skyship, obviously. So, Cock, Devon, Invictus, you're kind of fucked. But it would be best to take off your billowing cloak, your whatever armor Devon has on. Invictus can't take his shit off, so he will have a penalty. But it is so hot
I can take my cloak off.
that you want to take stuff off because you will... Every hour, you'll have to make a check, and you will take damage if you fail. And the armor incurs a penalty.
I'm fine with that. I'm going to keep my shit on.
Okay.
I know I am...
Oh, and if you
leading-
take damage, you will begin to have fatigue. That's the other thing. If you take damage from the elements, you'll have fatigue. And fatigue can become exhaustion, which is bad. But
Question. Yeah, I know I am leading us, and I probably shouldn't, but I also have resistance to psychic damage, so would it be better for me to go with Cock into Lady Wora's mind? Or
you want to go with him? Oh, that's interesting.
because I have psychic resistance.
Who drew a dick on my map?
You know,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right.
you can see what color scheme goes with which player.
You have no proof.
Okay,
What?
before we even think about that, that's a conversation you have to have with Cock, because he knows the side effects of having a vision, and I don't think he's probably ever had one with someone who wasn't like a devout follower.
I got a question too.
Yeah.
I have a spell Bless that will then add a D4 to a certain amount of people on an attack roll or a saving throw,
Mhm.
but it only lasts a minute. So could I cast Bless before we have to do that roll? That measures. I'm gonna perfectly time it.
Yeah, you can do that. I think that's fair. How
Okay.
many people?
Word.
3.
Okay.
3, but I could, if I use a higher level, I can do more people.
Okay,
But
yeah,
to
that's
be
fine.
honest, I'm mostly only concerned about the main crew.
I think,
This session is awesome already.
Nick, I think
I'll use level 4.
I think we should do the first one without help, because we'll only get fatigue at first, and then if people go into the risk of getting exhaustion, then use it, because we're also in a very dangerous place, and you only have a limited number of spell slots before we rest again.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess I quickly turned to Cock. Cock, I don't know if I could help or not, but I believe this. I poke at the armor; it sort of pokes back at me, and you're like, "What?"
It like grabs your finger. Hey.
Starts sucking it.
So this, I believe, ever since I started wearing this, I've noticed magic and the like that affects the mind doesn't seem to take grasp quite as easily as it did before. Would it be to our advantage for me to journey with you into your lady's mind, or should I be leading those who might not know the lowlands as well through them?
Meanwhile, she's just vigorously shaking in the background.
What's your opinion on having constant nightmares?
Already do.
Sounds good. Let's go.
I before I agree, I turn to both the rest of the main party and the rest of the pirate crew, and I'm like, Dishi, right? That's the first mate.
Yeah.
Dishi,
Acting captain.
Yar.
jealous. How well do you know the lowlands?
Oh yeah, Jealous is here.
Enough. Well, we can see the crash site, right?
Yeah, you can see the smoke at least.
Okay.
It's somewhere in the hills. The crash.
As we attempt to,
Which, by the way,
heal-
means everything else in the desert can see it as well.
Yeah. We're going to be attempting to heal my companion's lady, and I will be joining him in doing so unless you need me to help lead us to the crash site.
You're asking me?
Yes.
That's not a piratey voice. Yar!
As the captain of, well, acting captain of the Salty Dog, and me as captain of the Bronze Phoenix, I figured we should have a captain to captain.
Aye. Aye. Well, I can lead the party if that's what you require. I can see the smoke. I don't know if your other two will follow me after all the stuff that's happened, but they have no choice, right?
I will ask that they follow. Jealous, you implied you know the lowlands well. Help
She
keep an eye
licks
out
her
for
wing and sticks it in the air.
anything that might cause harm.
Will do.
Thank you. I walk
Did you
over
talk
to
to
Devon.
a clown at some point? What kind of voice is that?
I walk over to Devon and Brock. All right, guys. I know things are on edge between the party and our new compatriots, but I will be helping Cock heal his lady. So while I'm occupied, Dishi will be in charge of getting everyone to the crash site. Please listen to him as you would listen to me. Try not.
So not at all.
Try not to start any fights that might cause us more issues before we can get off the surface.
So you're saying I should be my normal huggy self?
Maybe not right now. I feel that might put them on edge with the tragedy they just went through. How about you?
how-
So you're asking
Everything
us to
better.
suppress our personality?
No, I'm just
Blast.
asking to try not to
Look
set
what
them
you've
on edge
done.
too much.
You've made him cry. Isn't this what a leader is supposed to do?
The desert madness has already gotten to them. It's too late. You have to give up.
The
Drink
people are supposed to make the hard
cactus
decisions, and I'm making them. So please respect
It's
them.
true. You did make him captain.
Aye, aye.
Thank you.
I will take off my armor, by the way.
Okay.
I then climb up on the wartle and help Cock.
All right. Nar's sort of holding her up on there as it begins to move, and Dishi's like, "All right, dear mateys, let's move out." And they all start picking up their things and marching towards the ship, keeping a relatively quickened walk, not trying to run or anything because that will make the heat even worse. All right, and yeah, all the pirate tabaxis are like taking off their things, wrapping their shirts on their backs, like, you know. Hemp has to take his hat off. Somehow he managed to keep his hat despite falling off of an airship.
That just means he's a great pirate.
It does, and there's also a clip inside. Anyway, you guys get up on the Wardus. All right, I need both of you to make a religion roll.
I have nothing added to this, so
20.
9.
9, okay. So, what do you guys do to do this? What is your process, Cock, with a new person?
We sit in a circle. I put Lady Wora's unconscious hand on top of the orb and hold it there. I have Invictus put his hands on the orb as well, and we start saying a Hamana and channeling our consciousnesses into the orb.
Okay.
On a 9, I don't say Hamana, but I do start trying to focus past the orb.
Yeah. And for the first, 30 seconds, Invictus is like, I fucking knew this shit was fake. Nothing is happening. And then suddenly you begin to feel this slow power creep in. It's almost like coming off of Cock's hand, off of the orb, into your body. And you're like, what the fuck? Is this what he feels all the time? It's soothing at first, but the second it gets up to your head, you just feel this searing pain. Now, you're not going to take any damage because you have a resistance to psychic damage, but it's a lot, and you begin to feel overwhelmed. Now, how the fuck am I gonna do this? Let me think for a second. This is really interesting. This is already our best session yet.
Damn. And I thought last session was our best session yet.
I know, right? It's fucking... Alright, so... Calculus, you focus, you channel your powers, trying to... What would your focus more be on? Alleviating Lady Wora's pain or helping this guy, this newbie, get into the vision?
I'd probably be trying to alleviate the pain more.
Okay, you're focused on saving her life. Alright, but you feel a strange energy envelop you. It's not like it's been before. You assume that having an extra person who is new to this, it's like the anomaly's learning something else. But you do feel your consciousness begin to transport, and the world around you blurs. In Invictus's head, you just faint. You're you go limp on top of the turtle. Everyone except for Cock and Invictus all see this. Nar turns his head, can't sit, doesn't say anything, but there's a comedic moment where he turns his head, and then you feel this replacement, this hazy. It feels like you're remembering something, and you both feel this. You feel yourself become like a spectral form of yourself, and you shoot up into the atmosphere, and you're speeding through the galaxy, and then you feel yourself nestled in a distant orphanage, and immediately you see green landscape of an alien world. Invictus recognizes it as Elfir, but other than movies and stuff, Cock, this world is completely alien to you. Invictus, you recognize that there are far less buildings than you often see on Elfir. Less people too. You look outside, you see a small settlement that looks very archaic. It's not like the cities you would recognize now. And the orphanage inside has weathered walls that loom tall, casting long shadows in the fading light of day. Within its humble confines sat nearby at a small desk a young elven girl, a beacon of innocence with her short, tousled blonde hair catching the dim rays of sunlight filtering through the grimy windows. The elf plays with a broken doll, slowly brushing tangles from its hair. She is one of many children in this room, all with different stories of how they could have ended up in a place like this. You can both give me insight rolls.
5.
And for roleplay reasons, you guys all smell a shit smell coming from the Wardis now. You're not sure who did it.
Definitely probably me with that 5.
Shit sing.
My suit
19.
just starts eating it.
Did you say 19?
Yeah.
Alright. It's clear to you that this is young elven girl is a younger version of your former highest priestess. And you're both stood next to each other in this ghostly form. It's easier to know that you're a ghostly version of yourself now because you can see the other person is that. And you hear a voice come from another room, someone older. Come on, girls, the are arriving shortly. And as the sun sets outside the window on the horizon, an eerie calm falls over the orphanage, interrupted only by muffled howling of winds outside. All the young children excitedly begin rushing out of their bedroom, heading towards the voice. All but one. The young elven girl sits still, desperately trying to get one last tangle out of the doll's hair. Anything you guys would like to do? You can see each other. This is very interesting.
I'm gonna wave at him and then walk up and see if I can interact with the doll or if my hand just goes straight through it.
Alright, give me another religion check, this with disadvantage.
Could I help him?
How do you want to help him?
I walk up and using my vast dexterous skills with my hands, also try to grab it in such a way that I can move it without trying to touch it physically. I don't know.
Okay, well, before I say that you help him get back to a normal roll, you roll religion to see if you actually are able to help.
All right, Andrew, this could have been a big waste of me shitting my pants, but 7.
All right, no, it's still disadvantage.
I got a 22 and a 17. It's a 17.
All right, you walk up, and you like almost put your hand with her hand as she pulls the brush, and you're both, and the tangle comes out, and then you hear, "Yar! Has anybody seen Yar?" And then the head of a human woman, dark skin, deep black hair and glasses, pokes in through the door. "Yar, put that doll down and come here right now." "Yes, Miss Anne, I'm sorry." And she leaves the doll on her desk and gets up. "It's fine, but come now. You won't miss this." She grabs the young girl's hand and they exit the room. All right, you two are now alone in the small girl's bedroom. What would you like to do?
I would like to look around to see anything that might look out of place in an orphanage.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. Investigation roll.
Not good at investigation. Oh, 16.
All right. Yeah, there are a few things actually. You notice a lot of arcane focuses in this room, suggesting that maybe the children inside are somehow magically, gifted or something. You also notice that the beds have they're like medical beds sort of, and they have like areas where people could cuff their hands to like stop them from fidgeting.
This is a fucked up place. I point this out to God.
Yeah, and you see this as well. And
I try speaking to Cock. Cock, can you hear me?
It echoes out, and you can hear him.
Yes.
If that was Lady Wora, I'm not sure. It appears she grew up in a not great place if they have medical gurneys necessary to strap people into.
Oh yeah, they didn't used to do that to me, son.
Also, it appears we're on Elfia, which makes sense considering she was an elf. Do you know how old she is, considering elves are immortal? So how long ago this might have been?
She old as fuck.
She's been, and she's looked the same as long as I've been alive. So
Yeah,
all Cock would know is she's old enough to have gone to the fleet when she was an adult and still have been there longer than Cock.
This is... If I look outside the window, does it look like they have the space technology yet?
Give me a perception check. That's a really good question.
17.
All right, you look outside. You see a small village. It definitely doesn't look like super advanced. There's some form of technology. You actually see like a very old-fashioned version of like an android like putting trash away or something. It's very dark out, so you're like trying to squint your eyes even with dark vision.
Nope. My new feat. Dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks relying on sight.
All right, so you see everything. You also hear a faint hum fill the air outside, and then it just like it's gradually intensifying. And as you look up, you see a spaceship approaching from above. So there is
there's space flight. Okay. Well, it's not pre-space flight at least. And if there's androids, it's pre the android war. Can I do a history check to see when that was? That was like war? 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, you would know that pretty easily.
Because that's when I left my family. So it's not all that... Really doesn't narrow anything down, but at least it's not pre-space flight. I don't know what that would help with, but it's good to know. I would like to try to react with the arcane focuses to see if there's some possibility one of them is poisoning her memories.
Okay, you want to do an Arcana check?
Yes. I also have a 0 for this. 16.
Okay, so you're like trying to go around. You're not really magically inclined in that way, but you sort of take a look at each one of them, trying to sense the magic in your ethereal form. You don't sense any like evil or like poisonous presence in the room. Actually, you think one thing you do sense is you think that the doll is actually a magic focus for young Wora. Anything you want to do, Cock?
Before Cock goes, I turn to Cock and say, as a religious man and a paladin of the anomaly, do you perchance have the ability to detect good and evil?
Let me see here.
Let me try to remember.
Detection-based magic. I think good and evil. I think there's one that lets you know if there's any undead devils or fiends.
Yeah, divine sense.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I'll hit him with that first.
What's the range on that?
60 feet, I believe.
60 feet?
Yep, 60 feet.
Okay. You both heard that spaceship land outside. There was a devil on board that spaceship.
Shall we investigate?
I'm gonna try to take the doll.
Okay. Give me another religion check with disadvantage. Your religion addition is 15 or some shit, isn't it?
It's +4.
Oh, never mind.
I think I'm the only one with a ridiculous one, and it's my sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Plus 17.
Shit.
18.
18. All right. It's really awkward. You can lift it slightly, but it continues to drip out of your hands. You don't have enough friction to lift, hold it. You're like water, basically.
Could we put
Without
it
the
in our
stains.
bag of holding?
He doesn't have that on him right now.
A watery bag of holding.
You're naked spectral versions of yourself.
Except my armor is somehow still here.
Yeah, it tags along. All right, well, while you guys try to figure out what you're going to do next.
I want to go to the spaceship unless Cock has something else he would like to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow Lady Wora.
Meanwhile, outside the vision, Devon, just Devon, you hear, with your passive perception, a buzzing sound coming from Cocculus's shell. And it sounds like the communication device. You hear Dishi somebody shut that off, quickly!
Can I walk up to it, to Cock, and just see if I can take it off of him, see what the message says?
You climb up the Wardus. Alright, sure. You dig through his goopy, sweaty shell. Pull out the communication device. It's got a piece of gum on it. You pull it off.
Whose gum is this?
Disgusting.
It's your Wardus's, obviously. No, it's the smaller turtle.
40 years ago. Maybe that's for later.
It's my mom's. Alright, you quickly activate, and you see Timblybib's name flash on the screen, and you listen to his voice. You hear him say, "Fucking hell, Iron Fury, lock the ship down right now! Use Cog to get you guys the fuck out of here, they're close!" In a maniacal voice. That doesn't sound like Timblybib's.
Does it sound like a voice that we might know?
You can give me a history check.
Sure. 3. 3?
Yeah, you don't recognize the laugh. But barely any time goes by. A few moments later, another notification sound bling, pops up.
I'll listen to that one too, or read it.
Brock, are you listening in as well?
Yeah.
All right. You sort of play it on speakerphone for Brock, and you hear Iron Fury's voice. Timbly, what's closing on us? Ground team, do you copy?
I'll respond. Yes. Did not sound very good on Timbly's end. We hope you are all well. We've had a few hiccups in our travels, and are currently on the lowlands. So I'm going to leave out where we are because the line of communication might be compromised.
All right, you're not gonna say you're in the lowlands.
I'm just going to say we've had difficulties in our travels, but hope everything is well with you, and Timbly, hope you got your shit together, man. And that things aren't
Hope you're all right.
as bad as they sounded. Goddamn.
All right. A few moments later, you get another response. You hear Iron Fury once again. Timbly went to go ask about tickets. We planned on meeting you in Olympia. Where are you guys?
We have worries that this line might be compromised based on Timbly's previous message, so we're not sure if we're able to give out that information to you. I know you are our crew, but we want to ensure safety for both you and ourselves, because There have been complications that have arisen, but I do not believe we will be able to meet up soon.
Alright, you get another message. Oh, fuck. Well, that doesn't sound good. And then you start hearing something in the background, like, the robot hat. And then you just hear Cog interrupt her. Commander Pollen, the Egarok's Welcome Committee have activated Gadget 03, a security measure that freezes all Android processors. Without the personal override of someone attuned to the vessel, I am unable to pilot us out of here. Oh, not optimal. Yeah, that's a fucking understatement. We might be in for a fight here. We have no one else that can pilot. I know I can't. I very much doubt you can, Wisp. No offense. No, that's fair. Ina? No, dear. Tally, please surprise me. I'm sorry, I'm just an engineer. Alright, what about Commander and Captain? What are their orders? That's the message you get.
Commander and Captain are currently busy. That's why I'm sending...
Aren't I both the Commander and Captain? Oh, no, I'm Commander. Cock is Captain now.
You're Captain, he's Commander.
Oh, gotcha.
You're the Captain Pilot. Sorry, go ahead.
They are both currently assisting in some medical ventures and are unable to talk, which is why I'm answering the message. I will say, though, is please ensure your own safety before anything else. We want to make sure that you all are okay, and we hope for the best, but we might be a bit limited in what information we can give, given that Timbley may have been compromised.
Alright, you get another message back. Okay, so the medic is answering the commander's comms, and the commander and captain are doing some medicine stuff. Got it. And then you hear someone in the background, you assume it's Wisp. What about the gnome? The gnome? Oh my god. We are not asking the gnome. Also, I'm pretty sure he's a halfling, Wisp. That's really racist. We gotta figure out where you guys are. If we can escape, we're coming to get you. I know you don't want to give us any specifics. Is there anything you could do to help us, Devon?
Could I do like an insight check to see if the line has been compromised in any way? Or is there some sort of roll that I could do? I'm just very hesitant to give out that information, but at the same time, maybe it couldn't be, considering that Adrian knows we're on the surface because they've been tracking us since Lady Wora picked up on the book. So
yeah. You can do a stealth roll to see if you can get like a message across stealthily. You're not obviously Invictus, so it's going to be difficult, but Invictus or Reinhardt.
Let's give it a try. Aha! Good time for a good roll. 22.
Okay, you feel pretty confident just scrolling through settings that you can get one message to them without it being picked up, but it's like it'll be deleted once they read it kind of message.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we crash landed in the lowlands. Honestly, we don't know where the fuck we're going or what we're going to be doing. We have a map that helps, but it might be a bit hard to pin us down. But we are currently in the lowlands, and perhaps in due time we could give you more information. But that is all I can provide for right now.
All right, and you do not receive another message.
I'll put the communicator back in Fox's belongings.
All right. Anything else you do, or do you just get down off the Wordis and start walking again next to Brock? The sassy duo.
I'll just chill up here on the Wordis just in case they answer again and they're still in their
okay
little Sri Lanka vision.
Can you now tell better who shit themselves?
It was Invictus.
Yeah.
Invictus's pants are much fuller, but weirdly it's slowly being sucked back into something.
But
anyway, all right.
Oh, it's going back in.
Meanwhile, back inside the vision. All right, so you guys are basically going outside where the younglings went.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're sort of you walk through the hallways or the hallway out into like an open, like a porch area where you can see this massive spaceship has descended from the heavens. It's blotting out the sun, so that's pretty much all you can see, except for Invictus apparently, who can see everything. It has like an imposingly large shadow that just completely darkens the orphanage and all the children. And then the air crackles with electrifying energy as a large ramp expands down, and then it opens up, and you see 10 cloaked figures as they emerge from the vessel. Their silhouettes are cast in ethereal moonlight. And the orphanage's host, trembling, approach the figures, and you can hear them exchanging, hushed words, urgency.
Could I quickly dash over so I can hear what they're saying?
Sure. Right, you dash up to them, and it's like you just hear the orphanage's host being like, they don't really know what's going on, but they get a general idea of what's happening in the galaxy, and you just hear once you dash up, you realize that you physically cannot see the figures that they're talking to. It's like a gray blob that is like blurred and constantly shifts and moves. You do not see anything. It's fucking freaky. And then you just hear a voice like, "It's all right, we'll speak to them."
Does the spaceship look like it belongs to a particular faction in the galaxy?
Roll me a history roll.
18.
18, okay. It's not the same, but there are similar designs. It's not made out of crystal or anything, but the actual shape of the spaceship is very similar to the one that attacked you guys on the Dalthan Research Facility. But it's white and blue.
Leon was a human, right?
Yeah, he was a human. As far as you're aware? No, I'm just kidding.
I was just making sure he hasn't... Well, he could be. He could also just have been casting disguised self on himself for several decades.
All right. Do you head back to Cock, or do you stand next to these figures?
Well, I mean, I yell at Cock, do the mind-bending thing where you can see into my head.
I try to do the mind-bending thing where I see into his head.
Okay. Is there a reason why you want him to do that?
So I can stay over here and listen to this, and he can hear it, and then he can stay by Lady Wora and can sort of hear fully
Okay,
what's going
no,
on.
that actually makes a lot of sense. All right, you do the mind bend. You're so good at it now, you just do it in like 2 seconds. All right. With measured steps, the 10 figures turn their collective gaze towards the children, including young Yar Wora. Their cloaks and capes billow with ethereal smoke, and their eyes glint. Mesmerizing. All right, Cock specifically, you can make a history check and also a wisdom saving throw. Because you're basically seeing what he's seeing, this gray blob with eyes and a cape.
Wisdom 21.
Okay. All right, you don't die immediately.
Good. And a history 18.
All right, you see the just Cocculus. You see moments, flickers of people that you've seen before, and you begin to recognize them as Cheros' siblings. You see the blue-haired elf with no eyes, the two-headed orc in gladiator armor, a large tribal Goliath, but there are also a few other ones you haven't seen before. It's hard to make out because the images do not stick. Like, they keep moving. Like, 1 second, one figure that you recognize will be 4 over from the middle, and then the next thing they'll be right next to the middle. It's very strange. You see a demon. Fiery red skin with 2 large horns sticking up out of their head. Golden rings adorning every finger, as well as a beautiful golden cape. You see a small fairy girl floating inside of a fishbowl-like helmet sat on top of a full suit of armor. You see an athletic and well-built Triton. He has strange dark blue tattoos as well as a clear swimmer's body. And at one point, you think you see a Githyanki. You see others as well, but they are flickering too much to make out any detail. And then suddenly one of the figures, for Invictus a gray blob, but for Cocculus, an elf woman, begins to speak. "Hello, my beautiful children. Heed our call. As you have no doubt heard, the galaxy stands on the precipice of annihilation, and a spell of great power must be cast to halt the encroaching darkness, and it may be the only thing that can save us all. But with such great power comes great sacrifice. Heroes will be tested, hearts will break, and lives will be lost." And the weight of their words hang in the air, and the children, Lady Wora among them, find themselves entranced and also terrified by this group's presence. And this is you're beginning to put together, this is a moment of destiny, the crossroads of an ordinary life versus a journey beyond the boundaries of comprehension. In this treacherous hour, we have come to gather those with untamed potential, those harboring a flicker of light amidst the shadows. You, innocent children of Lathos, the inherently arcane, are the galaxy's last hope. We shall take you to a place of refuge where your strengths will be honed, your minds enlightened, and your spirits prepared for the impending trials. And with solemn gestures, the figures point back towards the ship. This is your part. Sorry, I just had a stroke. This is your part. Together we will stop before it's too late. Now come quickly. Now, when she says Cocculus hears Hadraxel, but Invictus does not. And then the children. Sorry, go ahead.
Are all the kids elves?
Elves, humans, and dwarves. The children, their innocent faces awash with wonder of the unknown, but also terror, begin to move towards the ship, their handlers nodding as they do so. All right, everyone, you heard time to find you all a new home. And you hear all the children, some of the children anyway, questioning this moment, but one stands out to you, Cocculus. Miss Ian, what about our belongings? Young Wora says in the crowd. Don't worry, Yar, I'll take good care of all of your things. But that's not enough for the young elf. As the metal doors of the ship continue to creak open, it reveals to Invictus a set of cages that await their eventual occupants. The sight sends a shiver down your spine, for the children's fate seems not great.
Cock,
And as the metal doors... yeah, go ahead.
quickly put her doll, like, in her back pocket or something.
The
Doesn't have
doll's
her
still in her room.
I
All
thought
right.
you dragged it with you. You gave up on that?
It just dripped through his fingers, that was the problem.
Yeah, I kept
gotcha.
trying to, but I was still...
Yeah, Wora begins to push backwards, like desperately trying to get through the crowd of children. She's like stuck in between two bodies and she reaches out. She needs help.
I know I'll probably fail, but I will... Could I tackle her to the ground or something?
The child?
Yeah.
Spear the child. Get on the ship.
I mean,
So
you can try, but why?
Well, we're trying to get her not to get on the ship, right? Are we trying...
Yeah, we're trying to get her not to get on the ship, and she's currently running away from the ship.
Oh, I thought you said she was, like, stuck between two kids being pushed towards the ship. She's running away.
Well, she's trying to run away.
There's a crowd of children. She's sort of at the back, and she's trying to push through them, but she can't get through their bodies because they're being pushed forward. She just, like, reaches her hand out.
We don't have any of our stuff on us, do we?
Nope.
I'm gonna try to grab her hand and...
Cock, grab her hand and drag her. I'll try to tackle the kids near her.
Okay.
Decking children.
All right, both of
Get
you
out of
roll
her way.
religion checks with disadvantage.
This is gonna go horribly or great for me, because
It's like a concert where you dive into the
but
crowd.
he destroys all of
It's like a bowling pin.
What
the hell is
them.
I got a 16 and a 14, so 14.
Oh shit, that's actually pretty good.
I also have no modifier, so.
What'd you get?
Thank God I do have a modifier. 18.
18. All right. So in this instance, Cock grabs onto her hand with both hands and starts pulling her forward with her strength, and you yank her through the crowd, and she lands on her feet, luckily. And then Invictus dives for jumps in slow motion. And just starts knocking all the children over, and the 10 figures are like, "What is happening?" All right, and immediately Wora gets up and starts running down the hallway into the
I'm gonna chase her and then say in her mind, "They're going to kill us all if you don't leave."
Oh shit! In her mind.
And while he's chasing after her, can I be causing as much disruption to people chasing after her as possible?
Sure. What do you want to be doing?
Every single person.
Slam doors in people's faces, knock bookcases over, tackle more kids,
William
anything.
just starts haunting the house.
All right,
Exactly. I go full on haunted house and just start wrecking shit.
Invictus,
you
you
keep
can
opening the door. He keeps slow closing.
Invictus, you can do another religion check with disadvantage, and then you just have like a mind spell, right? You can speak into people's minds.
Yeah, anyone within
16.
30 feet, I can just talk into their.
All right, so this is what happens. Invictus runs over to the doors, slams them shut, and starts like getting down in like a defensive position, ready to tackle anyone that comes by.
He's a mixed guardian 2.0.
She stops
Come
for
here,
a moment and like looks around and then like continues running, almost like more scared now. I assume your spectral self follows closely.
Yep.
Okay, you're
So it's like, ooh.
Your ethereal form glides effortlessly through the corridor, and the flickering torches cast shadows along the walls, adding to the haunting atmosphere of this child running for her life. This little girl, short blonde hair, bounces with each hurried step, and her heart races in her chest, and you can hear her heart beating. And as she nears her bedroom, the door creaks open slightly, revealing the worried face of another one of these caretakers of the orphanage. And her eyes are wide with concern as she calls out to Yar, "Wait, child, aren't you supposed to be..." And then, undeterred, the elven girl just darts under her legs, her small frame weaving through the obstacle. Surprisingly agile.
And then Erebos comes out of left field, tackles.
You want to do that?
Right out the window.
All right, another religion check with disadvantage. Meanwhile, Cock just, like, goes through them.
Absolute piss missile.
Only a 9.
All right, so you like they start like looking around like, what is that feeling as you're like going in and out of them,
Just even that distraction, just like.
and then yeah, you move through. Young Wora reaches her small desk, grabs the doll, clutches it to her chest, seeking comfort in the familiarity. The room, you can sense it feels like a sanctuary for her, a haven amidst the uncertainty that surrounds her, and her breath comes in quick. And it almost like she's breathing similar to how old Lady Wora was in the moments before she collapsed. Alright, what would you guys like to do?
Do you have any spells that might help in this situation?
Eldritch blast her.
I'll do it myself.
If you cast sleep on her and she fell asleep in this, would she wake up?
To see if spells work on her, I'm gonna try to cast invisibility on her.
You can cast that? Oh yeah, you can cast that on other people. Didn't you cast that on Devon?
Yep.
Okay, she goes invisible. How long does that last? 8 hours?
Something like that. I'll check though.
I think it's an hour, right?
Long enough is the answer.
Alright, she goes invisible, but you don't know, well, she's invisible now, you don't know what's happening.
Where'd she go?
You can hear the caretaker like, alright, Yar, come out, where are you hiding? Yar? Yar, where are you? Show yourself.
Where are you?
Where are you? Now you can hear the doors open outside. Bloody hell! These are impressive doors! And then you can hear people running down the hallway. Yar, please!
Kai knocked some bookcases over in the hallway.
Sure. Another religion check with disadvantage.
I'm gonna locate
4.
object her doll so that I know where she is.
Okay. Alright. She still stood where she was. She clearly does not understand she's invisible and thinks the caretaker has lost her mind.
I tell her I made you invisible. You can move unseen.
Is
Alright.
there a window in this room?
Yes.
Yeah, you looked out a window at the start.
Could I open it?
You can try. If you want to do that instead of knocking over a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Alright, you hear her say out loud, "Who is that? Who's talking right now?" And then the caretaker's like, "What? Where are you? Where did you just say that?" "What? You don't see me? Yar, stop playing tricks. Come out now."
I'm a student of yours. You need to run.
Okay. You see she doesn't start running. She starts slowly creeping around the caretaker towards the door. Alright, religion check, Invictus.
10?
10, alright. You managed to... You open the window. It's not big enough for anyone to get out of. Give me a performance
Try to
roll,
pick
actually.
up the caretaker and throw her at the window.
Is that with advantage? Or is that just
no.
normal?
Just normal, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Alright, you can
Oh,
do that. Conk.
15.
Alright, you can see young Wora notice the window opening, and she starts running towards it.
Okay, never mind. I'll try to throw her at the door. No, you don't go.
Religion check with disadvantage. I really need more visions to go by, so you don't have to roll everything with disadvantage. There's a quota you have to meet.
It's 20, and then something lower than a 20, I'd presume 15.
Alright, you don't really pick her up, but you're like pushing her, like you're like pushing her in the chest. She's like, "What's happening? What, am I having a heart attack?"
Whisper in her
And she's
mind,
like in the
saying
doorway
yes.
now.
Say in your most demonic voice, just say yes. To the
Just
caretaker mind.
in her head, I'm gonna be like, your time has come. Ooh.
Ah! She starts running down the hallway, back towards the group. And at this point, you guys notice that the window is completely open and the doll is running outside somewhere, running away. All right, the vision slowly fades, leaving you with a far more profound understanding of Lady Wora's past and the cryptic forces that have woven her journey into yours and the whole fabric of the universe. And then, like, you hear a popping sound, and all three of you wake up.
Man, I shit myself.
What is that smell?
I think that's me. Does anyone have
It wasn't me this time,
prestidigitation
that's
to
crazy.
clean stuff up?
You can see Nar put a hand over his heart, like, oh, whew. Okay, good job, everyone. She looks over towards Invictus very awkwardly, and then looks over towards Cock, like, why the fuck did you let him come?
I have immunity to psychic damage. Not immunity, resistance.
He
My
had
mind is
useful
strong.
abilities.
All right, but yeah, the rest of the party notices your friends are alive again.
I just straight up tackled some kids.
One
Behind
of you
us,
smells
you
like
see
shit.
my turtle familiar is flying towards us.
Oh shit. This is
Anything happened while we were out?
You shit yourself, clearly.
Yeah, besides that.
We got a message from the crew. Sounded like Timbley was in some trouble, and then apparently the people at the Bronze Phoenix can't leave the ship. There's a worry that the line might have gotten compromised.
I reach into my goop crack and pull out my communicator to listen to it.
Could I also take a look at it to see if it's been compromised?
Sure, you can do a stealth roll. You want to listen to all those messages again?
Yeah.
All right. You want me to read them out again?
No, I'll just say that I did it so that we know
Okay,
that Cock
right.
knows what they said.
And Invictus does too now.
Yeah.
That was a nat 20 on that stealth.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
30.
you
Two.
definitely shouldn't say anything too specific over the line.
Do we know the laugh?
Yeah,
Crack.
could we roll history?
You want? Yep. Roll history.
19?
I'm trying to think if you guys.
Trashy.
Yeah, Trashy's gone crazy.
I thought it might have been Invictus. Not Invictus, that's me. Leon. Adrian.
You burned down my shop, I burned down your body! Ah!
Your community.
But I also thought, is it my rival?
Well, what did you get, Cock?
Wow.
Because
13.
Invictus, you got pretty good. All right, Cock doesn't know. Invictus, you got a 19.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a person you have met before, but it is been a while. How would you have met them? Now I have to think.
Is it that bounty hunter we let go who poisoned the dude in Knox Hollow?
Traffic cone head pulls up.
Was it the chief of Docs and research?
Okay, I'll just say that it is someone that worked under Umbra as well. You don't remember their name, but you recognize the voice, the laugh, that annoying ass laugh.
That's not good. Do I remember if that person was more like me and good, or were they more evil and leaning towards the collective?
They weren't like Shadow Collective. They were just they were someone who always wanted to get a higher position. So they would do anything they could to get a higher position, basically. But they weren't necessarily a bad person. They just also very much believed in their government and wanted to do everything the government said.
So they're like lawful evil.
Yeah, basically.
And it isn't.
Freakiest chair in the world.
And I recognize that it's not my rival.
No, it's not.
It's not good. That's another one of my mentor's students. He's upon Timberley. He is most likely in prison or dead.
You all can see now also, since Devon and Brock were sort of back towards the turtle, you can see the three tabaxis are a bit farther up, heading towards the crash. They've made better time than the Wardus.
I guess I'm going to.
Useless.
Could I communicate? The thing that does someone attuned to the ship need to be on the ship to unlock the autopilot, or do we just have to give the code phrase?
Cock can do an Arcana check to see if he knows that information about his ship. He should know it.
I can't remember how to operate my ship. 19.
Yeah, someone who's attuned has to be on board.
And so that's Reggie, Timbley Bibbs, Andrew, or Leonard.
Yeah, you're not.
I may or may not have taken Timbley's shit away at one point.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, You did it after or during the
Yeah, I did it.
the mutiny. So I don't know if you gave it back to him or not after he. Oh wait, no, you said that GIF that was like
No.
you laughing but like not trusting him. So I'm pretty sure you didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't give it back to him.
It doesn't matter. He's not on the ship anyway.
I would like to send a message to the crew saying essentially repeating what Devon said, but it's me now. Your safety is a priority. Timbley is most likely captured
Dead.
by the government. Try to avoid government interaction. Blow up the ship if you need to. Do what you must to survive. Leonard is probably your only chance of flying away.
All right, you send that message off.
And then I'm going to go catch up to my fellow Tabaxi.
All right, Invictus runs off after them.
I saw him type blow up the ship if you have to. I'm like, what?
You copy that message, delete the one he sent, take that section off, and send it again. All right.
You take out the ship and just put a ship.
Blow up a ship.
All right. Well, at this point, you guys have been traveling for an hour, so in this temperature, I'm going to need you guys to all make Constitution saving throws.
Constitution saving throws.
Is this perchance poison?
No. Invictus, you will have a -4 penalty for
Is
your
this
armor.
perchance force?
No.
9.
All right.
15.
So,
24.
10.
Dang, guys, what's going on?
I got a 7, but I have a +8.
All right, I need to.
I have a +3, so I had a -1.
Just keep casting.
Yeah, I also
sleep on
got a
myself
7,
To forget
But
that
I only had +3.
All right, so Brock and Cack. All right. The other two are going to take 3 damage from the heat. You also have fatigue, so you can't run, and you have a -2 penalty to strength and dexterity. And doing anything, so basically, if you take more damage, you will from the heat, you will become exhausted.
Is that option, or is that just the first level of exhaustion?
An option? What do you mean?
Like on the character sheet, you can like put.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah, it
for
would be the
yourself.
first level of exhaustion, and then it will keep going up if you keep taking damage.
So we have disadvantage on ability checks. Are you? You're
I need to roll for everyone else now too.
that word.
Are you the R word? How many people do we have? Jealous, Dishi, Obu,
Oh, I'm brewing it, so we're doing something else. Gotcha.
Abi.
That's what I was trying to say.
All right. Jealous passes.
Away.
Dishi got a natural 1, so that's going to be a fail.
He dies.
Obu
New
Abi
captain.
fails. Hemp fails. Nar passes. Lady Wora
Away.
fails. All right, so not good rolls, but they each, all the failed people take damage and feel fatigued, to be sure. All right, an hour goes by. You guys are traveling through the mighty desert. At this point, as hot as the Hydros is being, you can tell that Nar is just feeling immense discomfort in his full body armor. He like starts struggling, like as he's walking, he's like pulling at things, trying to get it off his skin.
Oh, he also has armor he can't take off. Join the club. Man.
You don't know if he can take it off.
He doesn't.
But yeah, it looks real bad for him.
Hey, you want some water?
All right, but
I have some alcohol and I have some oil. I don't know which is which, so
I could also create a bunch of food and water for everybody.
ooh,
man, yeah,
that sounds very useful.
let's do that.
Alright, I will cast Create Food or Water. It is a 3rd level spell. You create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water on the ground or in containers within range, enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. The water is clean and doesn't go bad.
The water is super necessary. Okay, so that's good. I assume you like summoned that on the Wardus, so you don't have to carry that around.
Yeah, does anyone have like a container I could put the water in?
We could put it in the bag of holding.
Can
Just
you?
started dumping it.
Can
I'm-
you?
We have
I-
water skins. At least some of us do.
Yeah.
Mine is full of oil and alcohol. Don't you have kegs of alcohol? Can we dump the alcohol out?
They're on the ship.
I don't know if you're carrying them around or not.
Just
Have them on his back.
All right.
You- Aren't you still carrying like a metal door on your back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Yeah.
have any containers we could use?
Yeah, if you guys want some water, I can give you. I direct that towards the
Summon
NPC
it
crew.
directly into my stomach.
All right. Yeah. Dishi starts walking back towards you guys. Like, oh, this scorching heat be already driving me to the brink. Thank you, Devon.
Guess, because it's needed, I will dump out my oil and alcohol, and we can fill it with water.
Summon it all in the Wardis's mouth, and then we all drink out of it.
Ugh.
Well, the
That
water is
motherfucker
clean
does
and
not
doesn't go
brush his
bad.
teeth.
That means it will be perfect water indefinitely.
I guess, man. Still, it's
Come
the
on,
principle
he's
of
a
it.
clean little guy.
It's the
Oh.
principle of it. I'm not drinking out of a man's mouth.
It's a tortoise. Not Andrew.
Miss me with that bullshit.
It's mortal.
It's a tortoise.
I mean, I don't really have anything to hold stuff in besides my oil containers.
Do you got anything, Brock?
I got my water skin, else, but I don't think it's gonna hold all that water.
Do you
How
have
much
to summon
water
it
is
all at once? It's like 40 gallons, he said, or something?
It says instantaneous, so I think so. I'm pretty sure I can direct like where specifically the water could go into, though.
Why don't you just drop it on all of us?
You could fill
Ooh,
everybody's
that's a good
water
idea.
skin.
Drop it on
Yeah,
all of us. We'll
it's-
just leave our
We can
mouths
summon
open.
it inside my cube if it fits in the orb that the cube makes.
Oh,
And we
Who's
just
carrying
have,
that
like,
around?
a rolling ball of water.
We put the cube on the turtle, and then the water falls on the turtle in the cube. Because we don't want it like on the ground getting sand in it.
Doesn't the cube float? Just seems like something that would be
I'm
like a
gonna
magic item that
Lift
floats.
up my cube, and non-living matter can't pass through the barrier.
Oh, if summon it inside, the sand can't get in. If we like lift it up and then push it down, so the sand gets pushed out of the way, then we could just drag a line of water through the.
Essentially, we can walk into the water and drink it whenever we want, but nothing goes in it that isn't alive.
What do you think,
Okay.
DM?
how does... Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense.
Walls, floors, and ceilings.
How are
can
you gonna-
pass through at my discretion?
How are you going to move it, though? Like, how are you going to bring it with you if it's a big cube
Puck
of
can
water?
breathe for an hour. He'll just be in there, pushing
I'm-
it. Then
We take a rope and we drag the cube, and we can't get in there.
I still say we could put it on the turtle.
I'm gonna have the Wardis nudge it with his head, and it just like blasts forward every some amount of feet. Either that,
Okay.
or he just bites the cube.
But isn't
Or
the
I
point
sit
that
on top of
living
it.
things can go through it?
Yeah, we can go through the orb that it makes, but we can't go through the. We can carry the cube itself.
So you're going to have him headbutt the cube and just get wet while doing it.
Actually, I'll just sit on his back and hold the cube, and he'll always be wet. I'll always be wet, and we go.
Sounds like fun.
Instead of drinking it out of his mouth, you'll drink it off his ass.
Exactly. Even better.
All right. Cox sits up on the Wardis next to a bunch of food.
And regarding the food, I'll just equally disperse that amongst the group.
Okay. Obu Abi says, once we find the crash, we should also keep an eye out for that settlement. Perhaps we can get some assistance or supplies if they don't kill us.
Yeah, they might not like us too much, considering we almost blew up their whole village.
But we also didn't.
Yes,
They were hiding terrorists.
if I may, perhaps the... how do I say this without pissing everyone off? The more different of us might not be so welcome.
I'll kill you.
That's a
Shut the
question I
fuck
have
up.
too for you. Is how is the in the lowlands? What is the the background of the people that live there?
They're tribesmen mostly.
Yeah, very
Nope.
native.
Those left
Live off the
behind.
land. the land that's
the
left.
racial distribution we got down here.
A lot of
Yeah,
crack,
yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, the area you're in is run by the Tabaxis. You know, based off of where you fit near Estermount. A lot of Tabaxi tribes.
Those who've been exiled from the Sky Cities, criminals.
Give me a
So this is just Australia.
Yeah, essentially.
anyone can give me a survival roll. Sort of looking around.
No.
I got this.
Oh. 8.
Nat 20. Let's fucking go.
I got this. 20.
She. All right. Well,
25.
I got this. 8.
good.
That's what I got too, Andrew.
Sheesh.
All right. Well, actually, Invictus can have advantage because he's from this planet. So.
Nope, I got another 8.
All right. He just can't remember at this point. Weirdly, maybe Brock and Devon read the same book, but you remember hearing something about the lowlands of Vegarok. It's like parents tell their kids horror stories of this place. It's like if you don't eat your dinner, you'll end up in the lowlands. There are
Off the side of the city.
a lot of the tribes folk have set up their settlements with large walls, putting them in places that are very battle defensible. Because the beasts roam free around here. Like, if you just have a normal village, a fucking troll might walk up, or a giant with 3 heads might walk up and just destroy everything. It's very like Attack on Titan, but smaller. So, if they see an orc, if they see a bugbear, they're probably not going to be very happy.
Noted.
And you assume that's what Obuabe was trying to get at, but didn't want to say the words. Didn't have the balls. Didn't have the gall.
People down here.
So you're all racist.
The people down here,
we don't
and
rock with that.
are very isolationists, very skittish, and very much on edge due to the danger, and don't necessarily trust those who aren't from Vegarok.
I mask of watery faces myself into a tabaxi.
Cock, you are a turtle. You are from here.
Very good. I mask of watery faces myself into a different turtle.
Very good, very good. All right. Lady Wora is being helped, by the way, by Nar. Since Cock has taken up the back of the shell, she has to walk now.
You could just drown in here. You don't have to.
You're an elf. You don't need to breathe.
You try to have my familiar carry you. That'll work.
May I just say something real quick? Lady Wora says.
Of course.
Shut your mouth.
Damn.
Whoa!
Someone's getting kicked out of the church.
She death glares you. All right. She's like.
I didn't say that.
Invictus and Cocculus, I would appreciate if perhaps we keep what we all saw very to ourselves, yes?
Yes, it
What'd
might
you
be
see?
best if people don't know how willing I was to do what I did.
I wanna know. Yeah, I want to see it. Please.
Damn! Alright, guys, calm
Whoa.
down a little bit.
They're horny on main.
Lady Wora and Nar start moving away from the group a little bit.
I'm sorry about them. They're dropped
I
on their
haven't
heads as
gotten any in
children.
months!
They were
Didn't
dropped on
all of
their
our
head as
troubles stem from us not communicating, and now you're actively choosing to not communicate? So, like, how are you helping the problem by doing that? I want to know what was happening.
children. Well, we were in Lady Wara's
We have the
mind.
right to know.
It's her
We
mind.
have the
It's
right
her
to know.
vision. I believe it's her responsibility to share what she wants to share.
I ain't rocking with that. I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
I whisper in whatever William's name is currently's head.
Invictus.
Invictus's head. Oh yeah, those were Cheros' siblings that were on the ship.
And have you heard of a place called Lathos?
And I make a history check to see if Cock actually has heard of that. Natural one.
You can make one as well if you'd like, Invictus, although... Well, we'll see. We'll see what we roll.
I actively forget all things.
Wait, hold on. What were we talking about? Yeah, neither of you have never heard of that.
I activate my orb of stupidity.
Do we
All the water goes everywhere.
know when the anomaly was formed?
Yes, it was formed like about 100 years ago, around the time the war started.
Okay, so she's over 100.
That's also around the time that people start having full knowledge of the galaxy. Like, there's a lot of blanks in history before that.
Which is, I assume, what I was just witnessing by not being able to understand or comprehend these people.
Probably. But you guys have heard Cheros sort of explain it to you. What happened, basically. And you all remember that and have it in your mind, right?
Yeah.
I have
Everything
parts of
Cheros
it.
has ever said, I remember.
I know that Cheros' father liked to... It was either eat or fuck planets.
Probably both. I mean, you guys can do anytime you want to try to remember something you've heard. You can do a history check just to try to jog the old memory. Also, are you guys having this conversation in your head? Because I mean, this is stuff you could probably talk to the party about. If
The only thing I said in my head was that they were his siblings.
Gotcha.
So Devon, Brock, have you heard of Lathos?
Lathos? Let me roll a dice to see if I
Hold on, give me a minute. Let me think back in my vast
I'm gonna
knowledge.
ponder this real quick.
Let me think about my lives.
Yeah,
Your lives. You've had more than one?
I got a 13.
I got a 12.
Better than
Yeah.
us.
Brock, maybe it sounds familiar, but you've heard of a lot of places, you know. You've fought in a lot of places. You've toured the worlds.
Well, I suppose we should keep walking towards the ship. I guess I don't know if we want to roleplay or not, but I spend this time sort of explaining what's going on to the crew of the Naughty Dog, Salty Dog.
Naughty
Okay.
dog.
You can just tell me what things you go over.
Should we tell them who Lady Wora is?
That's kind of up to her.
I asked Lady Wora then if she would like us to keep her identity secret longer.
Well, I suppose it would be for the best in my case. Knowing that there's now a target on my back, I need to, keep my group small. Keep my circle small.
I know that feeling.
Yes.
Alright, I tell them while we're on Elf here, how we're here to try to stop the bombings, destabilize the collective's hold, and get Vega Rock involved in the Ring Fleet again, and we're trying to help challenge Tratus and stop his takeover of the galaxy.
Lady Wora starts walking back over to where the main group is. I believe now would be a good time to run some things by you all as well. I've been thinking on this because the realization that our enemy was who I thought would be our hero has made me wonder if perhaps somehow getting that information out into the galaxy, I don't know, maybe it would break the galaxy, I don't know, but perhaps that could weaken Tratus in some way. If people knew who he was, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the more people that know who distinctly Tratus is, the better. I don't really see any reason that we should be keeping their identity confidential, so I think getting the information out is a good idea.
We need anti-Tratus propaganda.
Palpatine is back.
There's also the fear that if we tell the world that the villain attacking them is also a very popular hero, that maybe people join him because of that. That could rally people to his aid. I don't know.
What do you want from us?
Only the feeble-minded would join him. They are useless.
Perhaps. But the church have already joined
Corruptible
him.
peons.
That is true.
Clearly he has some sort of persuasion skill, or perhaps highest priestess Lady Holywind was never the woman I thought she was. Most likely the latter.
She was a man. She was a man the whole time. I knew it. I knew it was odd that her penis was bigger than mine.
We also, I suppose, now know that Tratus knows we know, So, I don't know. There's got to be a way we can play this, some way to game him. Use the information we know he knows against him. Now that he's not listening, hopefully, to us anymore.
I yell out really loud, "Hey, are you listening?" I say in really bubbled words.
You scream out. Performance roll.
I blow a blood vessel and pass out. 18.
18. Okay. You scream out, "Are you listening? 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 Listening?" It echoes in the desert sky. "Calculus, be quiet. Are you kidding me?" And then you hear a distant voice say something. "Greetings, pilgrims from the desert kingdom." And it echoes as well. Echo.
He's here with us.
You don't see anyone around you. There's just stones and there's like stone monoliths and, sand. What the hell was that?
I greet you from Apple World. We will bury you.
We should move quickly, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. I say
Roll
you
a
can
performance
run-
roll.
Okay.
Let's see how loud the yes ma'am was.
10.
Alright, it's not that loud. Alright, she gets up on the... She tries to skirt the water.
I
Sit on the tortoise's head.
wrap my body around the cube and start doing flips so that the orb just hamster balls away.
Okay. Alright, you guys continue along. But once you're like 20 minutes past where you heard that voice, you just hear like, and then it just fades away. Alright, continue. You venture deeper to the heart of the lowlands. There's a eerie stillness in the sand. There's been mostly wind as you guys have walked, but it's been a dry wind. It's sucked you off as you've walked.
Before we have to do another, it'd be a concentration saving throw, correct?
Constitution, yeah.
Constitution, thank you. I'm going to cast on everybody but myself in the actual playable characters. I'm going to cast Enhance Ability, Bear's Endurance, which gives everybody advantage on Constitution checks.
Alright.
And
Alright, everyone make those rolls.
and doesn't being near cock give us like a +3 to something?
If you're making a save, yeah.
Alright, +3 as well.
Whenever anyone's looking particularly hot, I roll over them with a hamster ball.
So would I just be rolling normal? Because I already have a level of exhaustion. Instead of advantage, just roll.
Yeah, sorry. I'm fucking dying.
Do
of
I have
heat
to roll
exhaustion.
with disadvantage then, too?
Yes, because you have
Not-
fatigue.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not helping yourself. Alright, so it's +3 or 4 from you, Andrew?
+3.
+3, so that's 20 minus 4. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. So 16.
16, alright, that's a pass. You don't take any damage.
And I think, Andrew, you get to add your modifier, the +3, to your own rolls, too.
Yeah, I do.
I got a 12.
12, that's a fail.
Oh, fuck.
So you're gonna take... well, let me roll first, actually. Once I do all these guys, I'll roll. Oh, no. Oh, no, Nar.
Or no.
Take your armor off, Nar.
Alright, well, only Jealous and Lady Wora passed. But it's probably for the best that Lady Wora passed, because I'm looking at her health and it's not good. Alright, let's see how much damage. It's not going to be a...
Killer, the heat will.
Alright, that's going to be 4 damage. Okay, so these guys have all taken 7 damage now from the heat, and they're all exhausted. All the tabaxis from the Salty Dog crew are panting heavily. And you can see Nar just grabs his helmet. He falls onto the sand, like, shaking. He's melting from the inside. He's just desperately trying to get his helmet off. Lady War, like, lowers down to try to help him. She's gonna roll.
Could I try to help as well in giving her advantage?
Sure, she got a natural 20, though, so... She just, like, rips his helmet off. It flings up into the air.
I feel like every time I try to help someone these days, they just get a nat 20 and it becomes pointless.
Man, I wish that was the case. And you can see her, like, taking her veil off and, like, wrapping it around his face. Get the rest of this armor off now! And she's, like, pulling at his boot. He's, like, you can hear, like, a... coming from the maskless figure now. And through the veil, even though it's wrapped around his face pretty well, you see, like, burn marks, scars. And there is a really weird dent where his lower jaw should be. And she's just like, ripping his boots off, trying to undo. Does anyone have anything that anything he can wear once he's naked, basically?
No, I can't take my clothes off.
She takes out one of his daggers, jabs it into his armor, starts pulling off, like, metal.
I help her take the armor off, and I'm looking at my companions like, do you have clothes?
Yeah, because he's basically just in boxers now.
Perfect.
Boxers and a wrapped face.
I have more anomaly vests.
I have a blackguard suit, which is the suits from the very first fucking episode. That
Very
dragon-
similar to what he's currently ripping off.
Yeah. Does that help?
Do you want to burn even more?
No,
Lady Wora will take one of those anomaly Anofleet vestments. Put these on immediately, you fool! She throws them on. He's rolling around in the dirt, and like the rest of his body is equally as like cut up and burned. And
Just toss him in the water ball briefly.
While he's putting his clothes on, I roll over him.
he gets wet. He gets real wet.
Oh yeah.
Invictus, how close are we?
Perception check, I assume.
Survival check. Check the sky.
Does anyone want to help?
Anyone want to lick their finger? Jealous will help, actually.
Okay.
She'll point you in the right direction.
Nope. 12.
Few hours.
Few hours, unfortunately. Unless people can move faster.
I don't know. Maybe we should find some form of shelter before. I assume the lowlands will become quite cold at night. We might freeze to death.
I mean, I've lived here long enough. Would I know that just offhand?
Yeah.
Does it?
It goes from very hot to very cold. at
Yeah,
night.
yeah, pretty much. Can I do a perception to see if I see like a cave or anything near the mountains we're walking by?
Yeah, sure. And you guys are beginning to walk up a hill now.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you look around the lowlands. Your gaze is drawn to what must have once been a winding river that has now dried up, but the path cuts through up the mountain landscape, and your sharp eyes catch a cave in the rocky cliffs.
I mean, we could
Potentially
go into that cave, potentially sanctuary, potentially a monster den.
The gateway to the unknown. We might not have a choice soon.
What do you say, Dishi? Should we risk it?
He looks back towards you all. He looks towards his crewmates who are continuing on. I think we should push through. Keep going. Find the wreck, and then we can look for a place to stay. Lady Wora looks to you like, She looks towards Nar, who's only now just getting up off the ground.
I don't feel we should split up.
Anyone else want to weigh in on this?
Also, I have water boiling, so I will be back. Making dinner.
Ooh.
Didn't I die, essentially? Or I'm, like, knocked out?
No. You're exhausted, but you're not dead.
Did I take any damage from failing that again?
Yeah, you took 4 more damage.
I'm fucking dying here, man. I want some sleep.
Oh, man, I'm in so much pain.
How's Brock feeling?
He's just chilling, bro.
Alright, he's chilling.
Chilling.
He's chilling so much, he's probably lost a lot of his sanity. Just in that mood.
There's nothing to kill, so it's hard to focus.
Yeah. There's no spines to rip out.
Did we make it
about his teammates.
Sorry.
No, we haven't yet.
I would vote.
Devon's
we keep going.
exhausted.
Devon's exhausted.
And yeah, the Tabaxis continue on ahead. Dishi
Alright,
occasionally
fuck
will
them.
look back to see what you guys are deciding, but he's trying to keep up with his crewmates.
I say we keep going
And Devon can sleep on the Wardus.
in the water, or like on its head.
No, I'm hamster balling the orb off the Wardus so that people can ride on
Alright,
it.
him and Nar can ride, and we try to keep up.
Yeah?
Why couldn't you have picked like a giant cheetah that runs fast?
Because I'm a turtle.
All right.
Well, actually, I'll see what his movement speed is.
All right, Devon, do you get on the Wardus? Take a nap?
Like, climb onto it and then just pass out.
All right. All right, so Devon starts taking a short rest. Or maybe a long rest. It's up to you.
I'll take a long rest.
All right, so he's going to pass out for 8 hours on this Wardus.
It has a speed of 60, so
60?
maybe just faster than people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do a short
So we
rest
can
instead.
keep up relatively quickly.
Yeah, the only reason it wasn't moving that fast is because if you guys try to move 60 feet, you will all become exhausted immediately, basically. So, are you all getting on the Wardus?
Can we all fit, Andrew?
I doubt it.
I mean,
How many
I'll
have you?
drown you all if I do that, so I'm staying in the orb.
True. Okay. So, I'll just say it walks alongside you. I mean, you're not that far away from the Tabaxi. They're like over a hill. You can
We come
find
over the
them.
hill, they're all dead.
All right, so you guys continue on your journey. All right, let's do another Constitution saving roll, except for the people on the turtle Wardus. So I'll delete you from this chart.
We need another roll?
Yep.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Do I need
to
to pull?
Nope, you're all right. Well, some of them were much better. That's
15.
A pass. That's a pass.
Oh wait, no, that's 22.
DJ failed. Obuabi passes. Hemph passes. Lady War fails. Alright, what about the Brock and Cock?
22.
Oh, sorry, I was texting someone.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save throw. I got 28.
Alright, you guys are both fine. Alright, so Dishi has now taken 10 damage to the fatigue, and he is exhausted twice, and now Lady War is exhausted.
We put
And they're
both of
both
them.
gonna climb back. They're gonna both climb on the third.
There's just a pile of exhausted people forming on the Wardus.
As people are passing out, you're just putting them on top of the giant Wardus. Okay. And now another hour goes by. I gotta make a roll. Actually, why don't you guys do it for me? Someone roll a d8.
I got you, boys.
I got it.
I got it.
5. Unless Nick.
Six.
Nope, got it.
Alright, let's go with a 6.
Alright. Okay. Another hour goes by. It starts getting darker as the Hydros is beginning to set. Roll another Constitution saving throw. So I'll delete.
Since I took a short rest, do I need to roll this time?
I thought you took a long rest.
No, I changed my mind to a short.
Okay. Alright, yeah, you can do your short rest dice, and if you're hopping off the Wardus, then yes, you will need to make a roll. Yeah, I don't think a short rest will remove the exhaustion either.
It will heal me to max health, though. Yay.
True. Alright, what'd you guys get?
14.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Got
What are
a,
we rolling?
Constitution save. I just got 2 natural
I got
20s.
an 8.
Alright, so all the
15 again.
NPCs pass this time. What'd you get, Cock?
16.
16. Okay, you pass. Brock got an 8.
No,
Someone got an 8.
no, I got
got
a
an
14.
14. Okay, Brock and Devon both fail.
Did Devon
So-
need to roll one being on the turtle?
He
Asleep?
got off the turtle, he said.
Oh.
So you now have exhaustion level 2. What does that do?
Have something.
Your skin starts falling off your body.
Speed have.
And then Brock, have you taken damage yet from the thing?
Nope.
Alright, so now you're fatigued, and you both take 3 damage. You're falling like flies. Do you want to crawl back up on the turtle?
Free me! Time to go back to bed.
Alright, you crawl back up on the turtle. Where are we here? Where are we in the grand scheme of things? Alright. It is nearing night. You can feel the temperature continuing to drop. And as you crest one final dune, the crash site of the Salty Dog becomes more visible from where you are. There's an acrid smell of dry ash in the air, growing stronger with each step. The once clear horizon now presents a scene of devastation and chaos in the distance, as you can see thick plumes of black smoke rising into the sky, obscuring the area above. And you can see Dishi... Wait, no, he's on the turtle. You just see Obu Abi up at the front, and she's stopped, like behind a rock. She, for whatever reason, whether it was to wait for you guys or she just couldn't force herself to move forward.
I move up next to her.
Alright, do you make the Wora stop?
Yes.
Alright, the Wora stops. I figured, I don't know, maybe someone else should go look.
You got it. I'm gonna stealth up.
Alright, roll a
Nat fucking 20, so 32.
Alright. Cock, you're still holding the water?
Yep.
Alright. Some of the people on the toward us, now that you guys have stopped, have begun getting off, and they'll start drinking from your... trying to stay away from your crotch as much as possible.
Yeah.
This is truly animalistic, the way they have to do it. Alright. Invictus, you continue to draw nearer. The wreckage of the ship comes fully into your view as you make it past a few spiky, darkened rocks. The once proud and majestic vessel now lies broken and smoldering on the edge of the sandy mount. Scattered across the desert surface, large chunks of broken fiery wood and debris spread out haphazardly, like they had been thrown around, evidence of the violent impact that brought the ship down. Amidst the wreckage, you spot signs of the fierce battle. Scorch marks cover the ground, indicating the use of powerful spells or weapons. The remains of magical explosions are evident scorched in earth, leaving no doubt to a bystander that a desperate fight had caused this crash. To continue forward, or do you want to still stay stealthed?
I'd like to stay stealth, but I would also like to continue forward if possible.
Sure. Also, you can do an investigation check. Is everyone else staying back?
Yeah,
I'll stay back.
Gives the okay.
Watching from a distance? Alright.
Sorry. I was...
It's alright. It's
Investigation.
just the jingle to complete silence was very humorous.
3.
On investigation?
Yeah, I'm not great at it.
What about stealth?
19.
Alright, so you move closer to the heart of the wreckage. You do see planks of wood. You think you see bodies, but they're definitely of the Aarakocra strewn about the wreck. You don't see Terry or Perry's bodies in the immediate area. You may need some assistance to look around.
Can I do a perception check to see if there's like any immediate danger from approaching enemies? Or
Danger, sure.
No, they're not. So 29.
Alright. Okay, well, you don't see any danger, but beyond the immediate crash site on the other side, you do notice what looks to be signs of footsteps leading away from the wreckage.
Do they match?
Potentially survivors, maybe also people who, saw the crash.
Do I see similar matching footprints approaching?
Yes, you do see some, actually. So perhaps it was someone who made it here first and left before you arrived, you're not sure.
I break stealth and wave at the party to come on over.
I start rolling down.
Alright,
Rolling,
Brock and
rolling,
Devon,
rolling.
you headed on with them?
Yeah.
Alright, everyone
Head
else sort of
on.
stays back by the Wardus, everyone except for Dishi, who slowly makes his way, very exhausted. In the same boat as Devon, he sort of gives you a look like, I understand your pain. Alright.
Well, I did not find our comrades' bodies, so perhaps they survived. But I did see some footprints on the other side, both coming and leaving. Do the number of footprints match coming and leaving?
No. You guys can also give me investigation checks if you'd like to look around the crash site. There's still some pieces burning.
Nat 20.
Jesus Christ.
Let's just see what everyone else gets.
Not
Natural
20.
20. Fucking hell.
Really?
The
Yeah.
investigation squad has pulled up.
You've been investigated. 17.
They tired out of their mind, but they're like, oh. They went on
All right,
Batman
so-
mode.
Well, now that I'm here.
You guys walk up, and like Invictus is like talking to you, and all of your eye lines line up, and you can see a familiar sight. You see Tark's iconic red bandana lying abandoned in the swirling flames. There's some crumbling rubble that, it's near.
I'm gonna roll to it.
Okay. They all walk past you, Invictus. And you're like, guys?
Guys, what are you? Do I now see it, or they haven't pointed it out? So
They haven't pointed it out. If you get close enough, you'll see it. But yeah, do you just follow them?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Eventually, you see it. You see this. Also, Brock and Devon, both of your hearts skip a beat because there is a haunting image. The scene before you demands your full attention. A pool of blood is formed nearby, and slow drips continue in formation coming from above.
Look
I
up.
look up.
Alright, you both look up in unison. You glance upwards, following the line of a wooden strut that extends out from the broken mast. It's jagged and chipped, creating a wickedly sharp and lethal spike. Your breath catches in your throat as you notice what's hanging from it. Captain Tark's. His lifeless body hangs there, swaying in the harsh desert breeze like a macabre display on a twisted clothesline.
Oh
His
shit,
blood-
he's dead! I pointed at him.
His blood continues to drip rhythmically from his lifeless body, creating a horrifying beat that echoes through your minds.
Guys, Tarks is up there. If we can bring him down, maybe we're going to be able to revive him. We have to act fast, though. Come on.
Start clapping.
I nimbly climb up to get him off.
Alright, you start climbing. Give me an athletics roll.
Do I need to with my climb speed?
Yes, you do.
Can I do acrobatics instead?
Sure.
13.
Alright, you grab onto the first wooden thing you see, and it just crumbles underneath you and fall into the ground. He's just like, be careful! We don't need anyone else getting hurt. Tarks, are you alright?
I'm sure he's fine.
Could
Yes,
you
I hope so.
use Mage hand or something to get him down?
You can try again. I mean, you just gotta find a sturdier piece.
I'll try
I
again.
could throw you.
Yeah, you wanna try? You wanna throw?
27.
Alright, you move past there, you're climbing, and begin to climb down the mast. Alright. Yeah, it's not good. You see the sort of full extent of what's happened. The bottom half of Tark's body is nowhere to be found. There is a gruesome void that really emphasizes the cruel finality of his death. His organs are now spilling out all over the mast, leaving a glory trail of his despair.
Quick, someone
just-
make
I
some robotic
don't
spider
think-
legs.
You just...
Yeah.
No one else sees this other
Not-
than Invictus.
We're not making him Darth Maul, cock.
I climb.
I'm afraid that
back
it might be too late
down
for him.
without him, and I relay this information. I'm sort of like, I'm sorry, Dishi.
Invictus is traumatized.
I
What the fuck?
I
did
don't think
just
we have the magic capable of helping.
say?
We bring him back to the Pirate Queen.
But there's no guarantee that the other, what was his name?
Perry.
Perry.
We need to find Perry.
Yes. Let's search.
For the lowlands, claim another victim. Quickly now.
If you had described him in any way that wasn't like part of his body missing, we could have fucking raised him from the dead.
Push him down and get to work with magic.
You know, because the spell like closes all mortal wounds. It just doesn't replace body parts that are missing.
So you could still bring him back. I
Shove
mean,
his organs in, and he has.
cut his head off and then revive him, so that at least you can carry him around.
Like Mimir and
Perfect.
The problem with the spell, though, is that the person that you're trying to bring back has to be willing to be brought back. And I think if Tark saw the body he was going to
True.
be going back into, he would say, "Yeah, fuck that. I would rather
Oh.
stay dead."
Yeah, that might be true.
Let's put him in a book.
Oh! Cut his head off and find a book.
Make
Attach
another
his face
talking
to a
book.
book.
I'd burn that book.
Aha!
New book.
Starts screaming.
Alright, the desert winds howl mournfully. You can hear Lady Wora from back up towards the wardess. It is getting quite cold now. Perhaps we should look for shelter.
Yes.
I start ripping wood off
Wait.
of the ship.
What did you find?
I think
She
we
starts
should-
coming down the hill.
Did we not find the other guy?
We only found Tarks.
I
No.
point out the mismatching number of footprints coming and going. So Perry might have left a shipwreck.
Do they practice slavery down here?
Not legally.
But yes. Not legally, but yes.
They may have taken
I
him.
do have to say though, and I direct this towards the Tark's crew, is I'm sad to say that our worst fears have been confirmed. As we found Tarks, and we won't be able to bring him back.
So that means he's dead.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I suppose I suspected that.
There is, perhaps this might be just a bit of a kind of, I'm not sure how to put this. I know a lot of you might have had something that you might have wanted to say to Tarks before he died, of course, and the awful circumstances he did. I do have,
You do have?
I do have the ability to rise him from the dead temporarily, where if you all would like to ask 5 questions of him, you would be able to do so. And I know this would not be a proper closure, but if there's anything that you would want to ask Tarks, now would be the opportunity to do so.
If you want to bring his corpse back to the Pirate Queen ship, we can revive him there.
Hemp spits on the ground. We do not deal in dark magics.
Right, never mind.
Alright.
I go back to ripping shit off the ship.
Alright, Dishi will approach the party. Aye, me mateys, I am aware that your queen priestess, or whatever, is wanting to search for shelter, but I think those of us that are able should head out now to look for Perry before it is too late. If he's alive. I know we do not know that for certain, but we cannot risk losing another crewmate.
Yes.
Lady Wora is like, alright, well, Nar is not going to be able to do that. Devon looks completely haggard. Dishi, you yourself look like you're going to die any moment. I suppose I'm alright, but I'm not good. How many of us are actually feeling up for an adventure at this point? Cock's like, I'm doing great!
Yeah.
Jealous also looks fine.
I'm fucking dying here, man.
I say we head back to that cave.
Myself farther if I need to.
Well, it's ultimately up to you all, but I need to get Nar somewhere cool. Somewhere not cool, the opposite of that. Somewhere we can create a campfire. It's
I
going to be
start
hell
strapping
tonight.
all the wood to the wardus.
Okay. Yes, that's the right idea, Cocculus. Good. Well, heroes, what do you say? And I know you're all exhausted, but you must have something, some idea. You can't believe that this Perry is still alive out there. But clearly bandits came and took what they needed. He's probably long dead.
Maybe they needed him?
For what? As they sell him off, and what happens?
Then they get money.
Well, exactly.
That's what happens when you sell him off.
Maybe we should buy him.
Ah, you're onto something. Do they have a slave night market here? Is he going on sale soon? We don't have any time. We gotta go.
I would have to reach out to a few of my contacts to figure any of that out, and I have no way of reaching them.
Well, if you guys want, we could end the session here and give you guys a week to come up with the answer for that. Or you can make a decision now and then we could do it. But it seems like you guys want to think about it. It's a pretty important decision. Do you carry on and look for your lost member who could potentially be dead anyway, or do you try to get some rest and get ready for tomorrow's adventure? It's a tough choice. Or do you split the party? Send Jealous and
Honestly,
Cockeye.
after hearing the crew say "fuck you" to getting closure with their captain, I'm kind of inclined to say whatever the opposite of what they want to do, and just say "fuck them" and leave.
Andrew, does locate object work on a person?
Nope.
Could we have something up Perry's we know we
If
could
I-
locate?
Yeah, if I've seen something Perry was holding or something, I could use that.
His
What
his
is it?
clothes? You locate his clothes?
Did he have a defining piece of clothing?
You want to
History
ask
check.
the crew that?
Oh.
Well, yeah, you can make a history check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll make a history check because I will have had to have seen it well enough to remember.
Ah.
History 16.
He had some kind of bandana on.
I'll then ask the crew what his bandana looked like.
Robbie's like, it was a yellowish green bandana. He also had metal bracers. I don't know if that helps. No, I didn't see it. Fuck you.
No. I'll try locating the bracers first.
How far does that reach? That spell.
I think it's only like 120 feet, so it might not work at all.
Yeah, you don't sense any bracers.
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. Okay, roll me an Arcana roll. See how magically well you remember the bracers.
I know exactly what they are. 19.
He knows exactly
19.
what they are.
Alright, you sense the bracers. They're about 200, 270, feet away, and they are not moving.
I immediately
They're further
point
down
in
the
that
hill.
direction and go, either he or his corpse is over there.
I move that full feet in 6 seconds.
You move that full feet. Well, where are you going?
Andrew, do you point it out to me?
It's
out
like
loud
down the
said
hill.
He was in that direction and pointed.
Okay, well, Invictus, you begin running down the hill, looking, trying not to. Give me a stealth roll, actually, as you do this.
Slams directly into him and he dies.
27.
Okay, you sneak your way down the hill. And you see a large cave at the bottom of the hill. And probably where he is.
I go back up, tell them there's a cave down there that we can use for both shelter, and that might be where Perry is.
Ooh. Start moving.
Alright, well, I'm going to call it. That's where we're going to end today's session. You guys start heading towards the cave. Okay. Also, next session, I was wondering if you guys want to do something a little different where you get to see the other side of the coin, where you guys could potentially roleplay as the people still on the Bronze Phoenix and what's going on with them for a session so that we know what's going on. And maybe you guys get to learn a little bit about the crew and get some more depth into them. So if you want to think about it. So it's Iron Fury, Ina, Wisp, and Tally, who's still around. So if you guys have any idea who you want to play, let me know. But otherwise,
Salt.
I'd be down for Iron Fury.
okay. Iron Fury is
I'll be Wisps.
okay. Wisps. That leaves the cook and Tally.
I'm gonna be a senile Ina.
Okay, good. That means Tally will be played by Jacob.
I have no idea who this Tally is.
Well, you figure it out. Also, that
Perfect.
means at some point, probably at the start of next session, we'll just deactivate your guys' current characters, and then you can activate. I guess I have to add them to the campaign somehow, but we'll do that. We'll do that later. But yeah, good session, guys.
Would we be able to, you tell us what class they are, and then we could specify how we level them up to whatever level they are, or will you handle that?
Oh, that's an interesting yeah, I could give you what classes they are, and then you can make them. Also, I'll give you their backstory so you guys know. But I'm gonna give it to you guys specifically, whoever you're playing specifically, so the others don't know. So you could, role play a little bit.
Yeah, if you wanted to,
Ina is gonna be Andrew.
you could create the 4 characters, not level, have them at level 1, what race, their name, and everything, and then we could level them up to the level you want them to be at.
Yeah, in worst case scenario, we just do this at the start of the next session. So Tally is Jacob. Iron Fury is William. All right, well, we'll see how that goes and see what they get up to. Yeah, I just want to do that because I thought it was cool when Nick was playing as Jamal, how he just became a far more compelling character. Nick really breathed life into him, so I wonder if trying that out as a one-shot will make the crew feel more lifelike. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway,
I think in addition to how we level them up and their combat stuff, giving maybe each one of us a brief paragraph synopsis of their character traits and how to do that would be interesting, just so that we can get a bit more into. Because Jamal was much easier for me to play than most characters because we had spent so much time around them that I kind of knew
Yeah.
how to play off of that. So
Yeah. I'll definitely give you guys like a relatively detailed, like not like over the top. I'm not gonna give you like pages, like 2 paragraphs or something of where they come from, why they're a part of the crew, because that's something you guys haven't really learned, why each of them wanted to join in the first place. So yeah, could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for playing, guys, and fun session. Sorry that you guys are in the lowlands, but
I need to write a college
Oh, fuck.
thesis on why Ina's
Yeah, it sucks that you're all dying from exhaustion.
how did Ina become Ina? That's what I need to know. I look forward to Ina being the Sigourney Weaver of the group after Andrew's done with her.